Hello, Apollo 11 Houston. We recommend you accept the now 49. Continue through your sequence of sightings, and then we'll analyze the data afterwards. Over. You're okay.
Hello. Is this thing on? It's been a while. Welcome back to the Depths of Jigoku Podcast, where four friends and a ripoff claptrap talk about whatever they want and apparently whenever we want because we took a break. This week we are joined by Kain.
Hello.
KickenBeans.
What up?
DreadPirate.
What up?
Scorch.
Yo.
And me, the ripoff claptrap, aka Bipoe. I hope everybody had a good holiday. So how are we doing, boys?
A great holiday, but I've got a bone to pick.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck the government here in Florida. They took my Pornhub from me.
Did you see VPNs downloads in Florida have shot up 15,000%?
Oh, do you guys not know?
I know. I've been watching this closely.
Yeah,
I don't
have
know.
too.
Go explain this to me.
So in Florida, a law has been made that in order for you to access an adult pornographic website, you now have to provide your age. You have to prove your age, essentially.
Okay.
Not just provide, prove your age.
What do
So
they want for proof?
I think what they're doing is license numbers and stuff.
they did this in Texas. They need a copy of your ID front and back, and nothing can be blurry. So porn websites being the best things on the internet, not for the porn, but because they further the internet.
Shut for porn. Okay.
Shut porn down in Florida because they don't want your personally identifiable information.
Yeah, so not only Pornhub, but all their constituents as well. So pretty much all the safest porn sites you can go to.
Okay, so you're back to Reddit now.
So this might fall under Reddit and Twitter as well. They're trying to fight that out in court. So
Yeah.
either those are going to ban porn and go the way of Tumblr, or which is hilarious because they rescinded that. They just never got anybody back.
I was about to say, I just talked to somebody about this the other day, and I was like, it was the greatest website that everybody just used for porn. Till the CEO was like, listen, we don't want to be this anymore. We're gonna ban porn from our website. Within like 2 months, they fucking tanked.
When they announced it,
All of their traffic.
I immediately sold my stock on Tumblr. I was like, I gotta cut my losses now.
Also, and that's not my biggest bone to pick with the whole Pornhub pulling out of Florida phrasing.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank you.
That does deserve a slow clap.
It's that I tried to get on a day before they were supposedly banning it from Florida, so the first of the year, just to have one last fling with this yield site that I may not see for a while. They banned it a day before.
Dude.
And then every other one I used that I had not known were constituents of Pornhub, also gone with the same shit. Random woman on there being like, "We're sorry, you can't use our sites anymore."
Yeah, they put a funny video up.
Yeah, and she's
They
like, "You
didn't
should
just
call
shut it
all
down.
your people."
They tell you to call your congressman.
Mhm.
What the
That's
fuck?
amazing.
That sounds fucking rude, honestly. Like, what the hell?
And imagine like you're getting ready, getting all comfortable, dick in hand. You go onto your favorite site, and there's just this random lady talking to you and telling you to call your congressman.
No, there's at least one Floridian that was like this fucking close before they shut it down. And right before he finished, that video flipped on.
Honestly, I'm just thinking about it, right? Like the people who have their rituals,
Mhm.
like bringing out the moisturizer, lube, the box of tissues, right? Clicking on the site and be like, "Please speak to your congressman." And they're like, "Fuck it," and they just
yeah,
to the
yeah.
message.
Oh my gosh.
I've come
that's
this
so
far
funny.
already.
So hold on, let's backtrack
pun.
to something that Pirate said. Do you go dick in hand before you get on the website?
No, not normally. But I'm not. But we're not judging. I'm not saying other people don't. Some people like to get really comfortable.
I mean,
You
what
know-
if they're like flipping through websites, right? Like they're just like, oh, I'm on X videos today. Oh, and then like, they start there and they're like, yeah, this isn't really working for me. Let's switch to Pornhub.
Yeah, but normally
normally-
I get on the site before I whip my dick out.
Yeah.
So I get where you're going. I get where you're going with this one.
You get
I
where he's coming
just-
from?
I just realized that I have a ritual. like I like to
This is the
poop.
first time-
I like to poop and then get everything ready that I want to watch in other tabs. And then like when I'm done pooping, I clean up, make sure everything's nice and clean, then I hit the bed and go for it. Have everything preloaded.
Wait, is
Yeah.
that why your poops take like 30 odd minutes?
No, I don't beat off in the bathroom. That's weird.
Wait, why is that weird?
Beating off in the bathroom while you're pooping?
Hawaii's a weird place,
Oh.
and they enjoy Blumpkins giving them. And it was an interesting time in my life.
Glad I did not experience that.
I've experienced a lot
That's
of
not
things
the
in the
answer I
in the world. I have never experienced a Blumpkin, and I don't know if I want to.
I generally say yes to anything once.
Oh yeah, Cotton, you pay extra for that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what a Blumpkin is and you live in a state that hasn't banned anything yet, go look it up.
Well,
I don't know what a Blumpkin is. You
back
can't
to the
afford a
intro.
Blumpkin.
how's the holidays
was-
for you guys?
it was a free
Tyler's the only one
Blumpkin.
that gave an answer.
I had a good time, man.
Jobs here.
I had a good time.
I had to get holiday.
And my holiday's not over, so I am back at work for like 8 days, and then I am back off to holiday. Because
Good for you.
I did not burn up enough mandatory leave.
That's nice.
That's nice.
It's all going away this year and next year, so me and the significant other are trying to plan an out of country trip.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
Her family wants to do Japan or Ireland or Croatia
Oh, with the family.
for part of it. It'll probably be a week or so with her family and then a week or two on our own.
Nice. Heck yeah.
But yeah,
So bringing us back to the no porn subject, though, apparently now there is a virus that's running rampant with VPNs. Specific VPN,
Hell yeah.
possibly. I didn't really dig into the story, but if there's going to be uptick in VPN usage, there's probably going to be an uptick in computer viruses and more security breaches.
Yeah, because it's a planned out like decision. They knew a long while ago that Pornhub was going to be pulling out the moment they announced that law coming into play.
Yep. I think one of the major reasons I saw this though was there's like some kind of hack that you can use a VPN for games like Fortnite, and that is what is being targeted.
Oh,
I have a
So-
conspiracy theory.
Okay.
So, is the virus tracking whether you're in a state that requires you to have an ID for porn to see if you're on porn?
That would be hilarious.
Just like cops show up at your house. Are you so and so? Were you on these websites using a VPN? You're just like, fuck.
You get a letter from your internet provider. Hey, so we noticed.
Right.
Let's see.
I remember being young and afraid that if I looked up porn on the internet, that my parents would somehow find out. Like when the internet was very young.
I had to teach my parents how to use a computer.
I had to teach my dad how to use a TV. As they modernized, they got very difficult for him.
And to be fair, they basically only use the internet for porn.
There's
Just
a whole
the
song
rest of
about
them.
this.
All right. So let's get into this CES week. Let's pop into this. Let's save NVIDIA's for later. Because that one's gonna be interesting, and I have very mixed feelings on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the AMD launch because nobody's talking about that right now.
The 9950 X3D.
And the 9800 X3D or the 9900 X3D.
And the 9070 XT.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9070 and 9070 XTs. Those I have hopes. I want to not buy an Nvidia card next time.
Go Intel, bro.
I want to play games.
Battle Mage, 32 gig.
The 32 gig ain't gonna be any more powerful. It's just gonna have more RAM.
Yeah, I know.
That's like currently I have a 12 gig 3060, which sounds great, except for the fact like at most I ever use is 9.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you're right. It's just like putting a turbo on a Ford Focus.
I've seen some fast Ford Focuses
I mean, that's fair.
for like 30 seconds.
I was going to say I've seen a lot of Focuses on fire.
That's usually what comes after. But yeah, I have high hopes for the 9070 and 9070 XT if they're as strong as the 7900 XTX, which is what is rumored. I will probably pick one up for kicks and giggles.
Remind me though, the 9070s are supposed to be the new like gaming flagships that they said they weren't going to produce, but did.
No, these are mid-range. These are mid-range.
Okay. Because I thought last time we talked about like one more flagship coming out from AMD.
Correct. So AMD has come out and said that they're going to be just straight mid-range and budget, but they're doing one last final flagship one.
And no word on that one yet, like what model number it is or anything like that.
It's probably going to be a 9090 or a 9080.
Yeah, I think the 9080 is probably going to be it.
Yeah, in their release, they said they're trying to keep the naming scheme of where the graphics card would be in power similar to NVIDIA's. So
Interesting. They
a
can't do
70,
their own.
yeah, 70 it equals 70, 70 XT equals 70 Ti. It's supposed to be like that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if it's better than the 7900 XTX, which is what it's rumored to be better, I'll pick one up and replace my current graphics card. Just
Yeah,
because I've almost bought a 7900 XTX like 4 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah, those Amazon sales are killer when you can find them.
Yeah.
But I will most likely be making the switch once those release and going full Team Red.
Well, it's going to depend for me. If the 5080 is as good as it's purported to be, I'm probably going to pick that one up. So I'm going to give it like 4 or 5 months, see what AMD comes out with.
The 5080 or the 5070?
The 5080, because it's still $1,000, and that's what I paid for my 4070 Ti. So, and dude, have you guys seen the board? We'll get into the GeForce stuff later. I'm really excited about it for some reason. I can't figure out why. But the new 9950 X3Ds, they're purporting that it's the fastest gaming processor ever released. But like last generation, the 7800 X3D was better than the 7950 X3D. So I'm kind of expecting this not to be anything great. What is happening?
I don't know. Did you hear like a little beep sound or something?
No, it's like one of those rubber chickens going off in the background.
That was weird. I mean, you do have roommates.
Yeah. Somebody decided to beat his chicken because he has porn.
So this is also interesting. I didn't realize this with
Rude.
AMD, but they jumped from the 7000 series straight to the 9000 series, and that's also because the 8000 series is going to be designated only for the RDNA 3.5 for their mobile GPUs. So that'll be an interesting thing to know for as far as the number series lineups.
Yeah, they kind of do that with processors. AMD, usually the even numbers are laptop and the odd numbers are full flagship shit. Although they haven't come out with a Ryzen 3 in a hot minute. Like, is there a 7000 series Ryzen 3?
Looks like you're about to find out.
I'm looking. There is not. Sucks to suck, cheap gamers. But yeah, AMD stuff looks cool. I wish they would have done more stuff, like more with their release, but they were on before. They were on the morning before Nvidia's release. So,
But at the same time, that's also kind of what AMD's done is they always kind of just give you a little bit, wait till Intel does their shit, and then try and beat it when they make their release.
yeah, well, Intel's been in fucking circling the trash can, so not a big deal. I think AMD on the processor side has been doing quite well for itself since the 5000 series.
True.
Agreed.
I mean, before that, you probably couldn't have convinced me to get an AMD processor because Intel was still the powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The mitochondria of CPUs.
but I mean, when Ryzen 1000 came out, I knew it was coming. So it's fun. It was fun watching it happen, but I knew AMD pulled their head out of their ass and started actually putting out good shit. Because Bulldozer was a shit show.
Sorry.
Right. Oh yeah. 16 gigs of GDDR7 RAM in the new 9070s. So it's gonna be fast as fuck. It's gonna be good. I'm just hoping that it's at least on par with what Nvidia can put out.
Yeah, what's the top right now? Like, I think the XTX 9700 is
7900. Yeah.
The 7900 XTX is only like what 24, but
Mhm.
that's DDR6.
Actually, I think it's DDR5X or some shit like that. Because there was a RAM shortage when they released.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are looking at it and be like, "Oh, only 16 gigs. That's not very fast." I mean, it's the top of the line version of 16 gigs. Like it's going to
Yeah.
be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's gonna need all of the bus that they give it.
Yep.
All right. Well, rest
But
in peace, AMD for now.
That being said, though, I think I don't think I'm going to upgrade anytime soon. I think I'm actually pretty solid.
I have the 4K monitor. It's the only reason I'm looking for an upgrade right now. Because some of my stuff chugs in 4K.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But
I thought you
know.
weren't going to be using 4K.
1440p looks like shit when you got a 42-inch monitor a foot and a half from your face.
Hey man, that sounds like a you problem.
It is. I made a mistake and I am correcting.
Yeah, not getting rid of the monitor. Getting a whole freaking new graphics card.
I like the monitor, and I got it for like 55% off on Black Friday. So it's one of those, I could probably sell it for more than I paid for it, but it's one of those like, I got such a good deal, I'm not getting rid of it. Just fuck that.
I mean, you could probably buy a top of the line OLED 1440p monitor right now for less than it would cost you to buy a whole new graphics card.
It's about the same. I looked into it. I looked into mounting this one up for like RPGs and side scrollers, and then getting a 1440p 27-inch as my main driver. But yeah, if I can find a 5080 for $1,000, it's plenty of RAM. It should run 4K just fine at 120 hertz for most games. So
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we don't have the COVID issues that we had where, we get everybody buying these shits up and then scalping the fuck out of them for,
they're
200% more.
they're trying to do that with the ARC cards, and Intel's just cranking them out. Like, they release on Mondays, from what I've read, and they're usually sold out by Tuesday afternoon. But they're releasing them every Monday, so it's one of those, like, it'll self-fulfilling prophecy. They're going full switch on it. Talking about Switch, which wasn't announced in CES at all. 2 generations old processor and graphics card at release.
Yep.
I did hear
Yeah.
about that, but I
Yeah.
think the reason they're doing that is because they still want it to be a portable and have a battery life, right? Like, isn't that why?
It's a mobile graphics card and processor. It's all ARC. It's gonna run great. It's gonna have good battery life
Yeah.
no matter what they do. But my fucking Galaxy Flip has a better graphics card than it does.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nintendo's doing what Nintendo does. They don't really give a fuck about staying up with the most latest and greatest hardware, and they also know that their market is not people that are like tech heavy.
And also,
That's true.
you got to think of it going way back in the day. They were the closest they got to the like latest and greatest graphics technology was the Dreamcast. And how quickly did that get just completely overtaken by Sony?
You're
Right,
thinking
so-
you're thinking of Sega, my man.
Oh no,
The N64 was the last good, like tech wise, Nintendo console. Because the GameCube was shit. Like graphics wise, the GameCube was garbage. Super fun to play. GameCube was garbage graphics wise.
they don't cater a crowd that cares that much about how how nice games come to realism.
Yeah, and they're a walled garden, so they can build their games within those walls.
Yeah,
They're a
and,
barbed
and
wire
that's the other thing
fence.
too. Is like
They're gonna live off Mario for the rest of their days, guys. That's all it is.
Well, they lost
Oh,
Luigi. The federal government got him.
hey, but Luigi may be getting free.
Dude, I would be ecstatic if he got free. Not because a murderer got free, just because it's one of those like, sweet, the system doesn't work still, and it's done something for good, not working.
Robin Hood strikes again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was having this conversation with my SO about like the new Nintendo Switch and other devices because when the first Switch came out, there wasn't really a market of handhelds when it released. And it had huge success because of the target marketing that it had. And also you can go to almost any brick and mortar store and pick one up.
Not always.
Well, I mean, there were periods where there were shortages on it, but like for the most part, you can still go to any Walmart, Target, Best Buy, and easily find or source one. Outside
Just-
of those weird COVID periods where there was a shortage on everything.
Or the
But
special
in-
editions. Holy shit.
In today's market, like there's such an influx of other handhelds, but those handhelds like the Steam Deck and the Asus and MSI and the Legion Go, like those are all very tech heavy handhelds, but unless you know how to source it, it's not the average consumer device.
Yeah, you need to already be a PC gamer when you get into one of those.
Right. And so like and Nintendo knows that. So they're not going to give you the latest and greatest hardware in their stuff. So the fact that it's 2 generations old unfortunately doesn't surprise me. It sucks, but it doesn't surprise me.
Also, Kane, me and you have kids. That's the console. If your kids want to play a video game, you hand them that controller.
Yeah, till they're like 10.
Exactly. They cater to a crowd, and they do that well.
I have to
Yeah, absolutely.
dust my Switch regularly.
I mean,
I
that's
just hope they fucking fix the goddamn Joy-Cons. Get rid of
No.
that fucking stick drift.
They're not. It's capacitive. It's always going to have that problem.
Don't be a hobo. Get an elite controller.
let's
Not
face
that
it, guys.
expensive.
Elite controllers get it.
Let's face it, guys. Nintendo is basically the Apple of the gaming world, right? They make it portable,
Absolutely.
simple, and anybody can learn how to use it.
I would argue
That's
they do Apple
fucking
better than
hysterical.
Apple.
Hysterical that you
Well,
mentioned that, 'cause
Thankfully,
that
they're
would
not
be
changing the
awesome.
charge cable every like 6 months, right?
Yeah.
No, they
But-
just don't have the same one in any single one of their consoles.
That's because they're cheap. That's not because they want to fuck the consumer.
What were you saying there, Beans? I'm sorry, I cut you off a little bit.
No, I was saying that it's funny that you mentioned the Apple comparison because my SO is not in the tech world. And that was her comparison: is Nintendo is Apple of the gaming consoles.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not an unfair statement, and I mean, honestly, as far as all the gaming handhelds have ever been, the only ones that I would say came close to like Nintendo consoles for its portability, playability, and ease of use is the PSP, right? Like the Vita had its own issues and required a little bit of knowledgeable skill, but the Vita or the PSP itself, like the original, was just put the disc in, play the game. Like they maintained that simplicity that made it fun to use.
I thought I had to think about it. I think I have 5 to 6 different generations of Nintendo hardware in my home.
Yeah, but they all serve a purpose.
Yeah,
And they still freaking work, don't they?
Yeah.
every single one of them still works.
I mean, I still have my N64, and it still fucking works and turns on and plays all
That's
the
what-
game cartridges that I have.
That's one of them I still have.
Bro, I've got a clear case Game Boy sitting up on my shelf over here.
I know. I want to
This
build
neutral
it.
color.
I want to build an SP so bad.
Yeah,
What's that,
at my
Pirate?
mom and dad's house, I still have the OG like brick.
I have an
Nintendo
SP.
Game Boy.
The neutral color or one of the fun colors?
the
It's
neutral
clear.
color.
Oh, just the clear one.
Yeah, hang on, I'll grab it.
All right, back to CES news. Lenovo Legion Go 2 and Go S. I'm kind of excited about this because, from what I understand, it might be running SteamOS.
So the Legion S is supposedly going to be running the SteamOS.
They said they were making SteamOS available for other people to use.
Yeah, they just
Like
announced it.
recently. Yeah,
That's like
Heck yeah.
OG Game Boy, dude.
It
I think it's in good condition.
seriously OG, and I'm honestly surprised that this plastic has not like stained yellow over the years, because that's typically what happens to these clear cases.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to do a screen upgrade, let me know. But yeah, so the Go Z2, whatever, you guys know what we're talking about. So the Go S is gonna be SteamOS powered. The Go Z2 is gonna be Windows powered, but it should have all the same drivers, so you can make it SteamOS powered, which will be dope. That means you can get yourself like a top of the line actual good handheld for sub $1,000. Because I want to support ANEO. I do. But when my Steam Deck cost me $500 and the equivalent ANEO was like $1,500, I can't.
I get that.
Also, we haven't talked about my delve into putting Windows on my Steam Deck.
Steam Deck, how'd that work?
That's
Well-
right. You started doing that right before the holidays.
Well, it went well, and then Valve updated SteamOS and fixed a lot of the games that I was upgrading to Windows to play, so I put SteamOS back on it. But motherfucker, it took me 2 goddamn days to put Windows on it. It took me like 20 minutes to put SteamOS on it.
It fought you, huh?
No, it's so many steps to get it to work. I was thinking it'd be like an hour. I got Windows loaded in 20 minutes. But to get all the different drivers, to get the controller software, get everything to work, go into the preferences and make it work, it's just not fucking worth it. Not at all. Not once did I fail a step, but it legitimately took me 2 evenings.
Man, I'm surprised that nobody's come out with like a zip folder of all the necessary drivers to make that switch already.
So most of the drivers are easily found. It's getting them loaded individually and getting Windows to accept them because they don't load as a package. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so like your audio driver, you have to old school Windows 95 style install your audio driver. your graphics driver. Old's like legitimately go in, change the registry file to use that driver instead of the built-in Windows driver that doesn't fucking work. It was a lot of steps. Brought me back to the olden days when I used to fuck with old Windows 95 and 98 computers, and reminded me why I'm so happy Windows 11 and 10 exist.
Windows 98.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Windows 8.
Do we talk about Vista?
Vista had
Vista's-
its place.
Vista did a thing.
Yeah.
And it did one thing pretty well.
We wouldn't have 7 without Vista.
Vista's only success was incorporating the business side of things, from my perspective.
Apparently, it ran servers pretty well too.
Yeah.
The business side of things.
Yeah. Vista
But
for
yeah,
business.
On a personal use, it was hot fucking garbage.
Absolutely.
I never bothered. I skipped it.
That's fair. God, I remember when the Army went from 98 to Vista, and I was like, no! Just 7 is so good! Just fucking skip it! And then I got out. Everything was only Vista for like 9 months, and then I was free.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Windows, for anybody that's still running Windows 10, which is from the last article I read, about 60% of all computers out there. Just a reminder, come October, there's no more security updates. October is going to be the final security update for Windows. So you can still run your Windows, but you are a Lone Ranger at that point.
So on that announcement, they're going to ease the restrictions on Windows 11's security, so you don't have to have the built-in hardware security. Because apparently they finally realized people don't want to buy a new computer to run a new OS.
Yep. And you know,
Yeah.
it's surprising how quickly they tried to force this out of 10 too, because what was it? 7, right? Like 7 that we all loved forever was freaking good for like 10 years after they stopped
Yeah.
supporting it.
I
Because they
think
kept supporting it.
Microsoft has a skeleton in the closet they haven't told anybody yet with Windows 10. Because Windows 10 was supposed to be the last Windows.
Correct.
Really?
It
Like
was.
that, when Windows 10 came out, and for a few years when Windows 10 was predominant, it was the last Windows. They were just going to continuously update it security-wise, which tells me that there's a huge security flaw in 10 somewhere that Microsoft hasn't told anybody about yet.
Well, I mean,
It's comical 'cause
could be anything, right? Like it could be like, you know, data encryption going from 256 to like 2048 or something, you know what I mean? Like and
Yeah.
it just can't support it. Like it's baked in, they can't support it past that. I mean that would make sense, something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then
Yeah, I
just
mean-
announce new skins for Windows 10 and force people to update to Windows 11 and just call it
They
10.
did.
I think where they fucked up was their marketing guy was like, let's call it Windows 11. And it's like, no, fuckface. Every
Let's
other
call it-
Windows sucks. Quit
Call it
doing
Windows
that.
10.5
Yeah. Dude,
or 10.2.
8.5 wasn't bad. It was definitely an attempt at fixing 8.
Yeah, but 8 sucked. Like
Eight-
the whole
Yeah.
the whole idea of 8 was hot garbage.
Okay, so kind of like how Vista was designed for, you know, business side and, you know, running servers, 8 was designed for touch.
Yeah.
That was when touch came out and it was like real big, and you know everybody's like, oh yeah, freaking touch screens everything, and Windows is like, yeah, we got this. Like Microsoft's like, yeah, we could do an OS based on this, and oh yeah, no, it doesn't really work well on your home computer. Sorry.
Not everything is going to be app driven. Fuck you.
Well, so speaking on screen-driven things, DreadPirate, do you want to tell us about Sony's new 3D monitors that they're putting out? New old 3D monitors that they're putting out?
It's not even Sony, it's Samsung.
Whatever.
Let me,
Fuck Sony too.
I gotta find the article again, so skip that.
Okay.
Well, while he finds that, a funny tech thing that I saw from CES. So there's all kinds of gadgets, of course, that also come out outside of the big announcements. So everybody knows what the iRobots are that go around and clean your floors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At CES, they now have one called Roborock, which does the exact same thing, but has a little arm contraption that folds out of the top of the body of it to pick up like your socks and stuff and put it in a hamper as it goes through and cleans things up.
We are so close to fuck. What's that Jetsons robot?
Oh, the fucking maid.
We got to use a real name. We can't. Rosie.
Rosie.
We can't
that's it.
disrespect Rosie. She'll kill you in your sleep.
But yeah, and like literally they marketed it with the best feature being a retractable arm for sock tidying.
Jesus. Put your socks in a hamper. It's not that hard. It's like, this is going to go down a rabbit hole. One of my interns smells. And like he's been working with my coworker, the other dude that works in my office with me, for a week now. So I went in yesterday and I was just like, what the fuck is that smell? And turns out it's just the intern. Like he just smells terrible. And it's not, you can see the caked on deodorant in his armpits. So it's not for lack of trying. I don't know what to do. I want to sit him down and have an adult conversation with him, but he's 20 years old and I don't want to fucking end up in people services.
He's a fucking adult. Like, fuck
He's
that.
an adult
And
working
also,
a big boy job.
If you have caked on deodorant from like 3 days, that doesn't help. You're
No.
smearing shit on top of shit.
He doesn't look dirty. That's the thing. Is I don't know if he just like can't wipe his own ass.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of smell.
Get a
Yeah,
bidet.
It smells like
shit walking away. We were on 3D monitors. Now we're talking about caked on deodorant. What did I?
it smells like room temperature old pepperonis.
That
What
is not
does?
somebody who doesn't know how to wipe their own ass, though. Like, that is a very distinct smell.
It's interesting. But yeah, so are we good to go on 3D monitors?
What the fuck did I miss?
Yeah.
My new intern smells terrible.
Oh, I see.
And he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know how to have that conversation.
So Samsung announced an Odyssey line at 3D. That's going to be a 27-inch gaming monitor. It's going to use, where is it? It's going to use AI to
Oh,
essentially figure out how the 3D is going to look without the need for 3D glasses.
you know,
So they're doing this like a Nintendo DS with
And
3D.
Yeah, and a lens built into the chassis.
So depending on how far away you're sitting physically from it, it's going to determine your distance and change the.
Seems to be the case. There's not much.
so that's a privacy issue.
Yeah, there's not much info on it.
I don't need my screen recording me. And because it's gonna get real weird sometimes.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be recording you. Like it could be like infrared or whatever that just pings how far away you are.
My worry with that would be it would need to have some kind of image where it can tell depth. So could be a double infrared camera, so that you get two angles and you can triangulate depth. But it's also got to have enough of a resolution in the camera for the AI system to determine that your mic isn't you and fuck it up.
Hmm.
And
Fair.
while I'm not the greatest supporter of Samsung, I wouldn't put it past them to factor that in.
Yeah, although we had a conversation previously about how Wi-Fi routers in your home can also be used to determine your exact position in your house at all times.
Yeah, within like an inch and a half. It's terrifying. That's why we have a bomb that has swords instead of explosives.
So, I mean, are we really worried about a depth-finding piece of technology?
No, that's a real thing. There is a Tomahawk, or not Tomahawk, a Hellfire missile that can be fired from any drone They're historically on Apaches or A10s, like slow movers, but so in order to keep culturally appropriate when assassinating people overseas, it has swords that shoot out in all directions instead of explosives, so that you're not, one, you have less a chance of civilian casualties or destroying things that don't need to be destroyed because you want intel. And if he's beaten off at his computer, you kill him with swords, you can recover the hard drive.
Florida.
Fair. But when you use it, you need to know, like, specifically what seat in a car he's sitting in. That's how accurate it is. Yeah. It's not classified or anything. It's what we killed Somanali with. The ISIS general or Iranian general that was helping ISIS in Baghdad. That's where it got out. Like, we killed him, and the other 3 people in the car were perfectly fine. Using a missile we dropped from a fucking RC car damn near in space.
The Hellfire R9X, also known as the Ninja Missile or the Flying Ginsu.
Yeah, it's a thing. If you have it up, throw a photo of it up in the chat. It's kind of hilarious.
I'm looking for a good photo of it, but yeah, I'll grab something.
Yeah, what were we talking about before I went on a rant about the way America flashes its dick at people? 3D monitors. Dude, how fucked up you were high as shit playing video games like Call of Duty and one of those fucking missiles came through your screen. Be like, this is some real 3D, my man. It's real 3D.
I have never been a fan of 3D anything. To be perfectly honest, the shit has always hurt my eyes.
Yeah, there you go. He put up a general description of it. Yeah, so it's Samsung. They're gonna do this thing good. We all know it's gonna be good.
Like shooting a Wolverine out of a helicopter.
It's basically what it is.
That's a spicy dick.
It's human size. If you look in the bottom left corner.
Oh, I see it.
But it's gonna be. 3D gaming didn't kick off. They've tried this once. I don't know if Samsung did, but LG definitely did.
3D in general never really took off. They tried so hard.
Yeah, I
With
mean,
movies and TV shows and all these things, and it just never stuck.
it really became outdated, like almost as soon as it was made. You know,
Exactly.
like the one thing I remember when 3D like first started coming out was I think it was like MGM Studios. There was a 3D Michael Jackson thing, like
Mhm.
like a mini concert with him or something like that. But you had to wear the glasses. Like it was a show that you actually attended on site.
Interesting.
But it was like some weird like alien thing mixed with like a MIDI with him in the show. It was bizarre. But let me see if I can find out what that was.
So Nintendo has done 3D really well and really poorly before. Which tells me that this is going to fail. Because like if Nintendo can't figure it out, they gave it 2 solid tries and they couldn't figure it out. You had the 3DS, done well, gave me a headache, but a lot of things do. And then you had before that the Virtual Boy, which I'm pretty sure went away because it was killing people.
I forgot about that device.
I still have mine.
That just brought back some memories. Holy shit.
Yeah, Virtual Boy Mario Tennis was my favorite game to play on that.
Okay.
Um,
Oh shit. Okay. It was called Captain EO.
this is the
And
Michael Jackson
apparently-
thing.
It was a Michael Jackson movie that Disney like appropriated for a 3-dimensional like concert show thing in their stuff. Huh.
You know, as much as I don't want to be mad at Michael Jackson, like Disney had to know he was staring at little boys' assholes, right? They know everything. They're better than the CIA.
So many other ways to have said that.
Like, you think they would have cut ties?
Holy shit, that was funny.
Well, I mean, this was 1988 or something.
Oh, okay. So this is before Disney became an intelligence agency. All right.
Yeah, this was innocent Disney.
Ah.
Mostly innocent Disney.
There's never been an innocent Disney.
There's never an innocent Disney.
He was a Catholic.
Okay,
And he
this is
hated
this is Disney before technology, like real good technology.
So
Yeah.
racist Disney.
Yeah, actually, it was around that time.
Was it pre or post Michael Jackson changing color?
Pre.
Okay. Wow, I'm
Wait.
proud of them. I'm proud of them.
I mean, but back to 3D, it never took off, and I don't think it's going to take off now. We just don't do 3D right. They're going
Samsung doesn't fail a lot.
I know, but they're going the wrong direction with gaming. Nobody wants 3D shit popping out of their screen.
Oh,
People are going to lose their shit on that if they start playing the fucking horror games that specifically cater to 3D.
dude, fuck, what's that game? You're in space, and you wake up on a ship and everyone Dead Space. I was getting there. Dead Space in 3D would be terrifying. Like if Dead Space comes out in VR, I'm buying
There
it.
is Dead
But
Space VR.
oh my god, I'm gonna have to
they
buy
came
this.
out with it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Dead Space VR has been out for a minute now.
But it's not like
I
the
re-
full game. It's like an experience version or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's the full storyline title, but I think it's like chapters of it.
I mean, they don't want you walk around your house for 24 hours with headset on. That's acceptable.
I mean, they give you the warnings before you start playing.
I'm a pussy. It's all right. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, every time I put one of those on, I almost fall over taking it off. It's just
One of my buddies plays his VR in his backyard, and his neighbors give him weird looks.
How can you tell?
he don't see it.
He sees his neighbors through the Ring camera
Yeah.
that is fed through his Oculus.
So yes, the official Dead Space VR is like an experience, but there's a Reddit guy named Reverse Engineering Gamer who is currently on Dead Space 2 converting it to VR. He's completed one
Nice.
full game.
Nexus mods.
I'm in the Dead Space forum. Are Reddits called forums? I mean, it's a forum, but like,
But they're not referred to as forums.
okay.
Topics,
Topics, subreddits.
subreddits.
That's the term. I don't know. I have my subreddit perfectly curated, so it's like funny veteran shit, drifting, 3D printing, titties, just in that order.
I have a good cycle.
And some of them cross over. There's like drifting
Drifting with
titties,
titties.
and then there's like
It is.
cosplaying, which is just gaming titties.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're announcing 3 Sony games that are getting movies this year.
Which ones?
Oh, I saw an announcement.
Horizon
that they
Zero
do
Dawn.
One anime title and then 2.
Ghost of Tsushima is getting an anime title.
Yeah,
Horizon
'cause-
Zero Dawn's getting a movie,
Mhm.
and Helldivers is getting a movie.
Yeah,
It has a
Helldivers 2 is
movie.
getting a movie.
It
No,
has
it's
a
getting
movie.
it's
It
getting
freaking is a movie.
Yeah,
Starship
like
Troopers.
I feel like they're cashing in on Starship Troopers. Like,
they're just catching it
Nostalgia.
on Helldivers. It's just going to be a Starship Troopers knockoff,
yeah, it's probably gonna be
just
terrible.
like the game. I mean, would
What's
you be? I would be mad if it wasn't.
What's the story gonna be? You know what I mean? Like, they
Go to
drop
planet,
in.
kill bugs.
I mean, I hope they make it as satirical as the game actually is, because that would make it an amazing watch.
You have to. I mean, they're obviously going to have to put the Illuminate in since now they're officially in the game.
I mean, you say have to, but we've seen them fuck up so many game to movie transitions by trying to put a real story in.
But,
They have
but-
to bring Rico back, and he has to get with Dizzy and not that stupid officer girl. It's like we can fix the history.
That would actually be
mean-
hilarious if they brought him back for this movie. I think he'd do it.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he would too.
Would NPH do it?
Fingers crossed.
That's questionable, but I mean, he's been in some weird shit, so probably.
Dr.
Yeah, but
Horrible
he
sing
likes
along blog is my favorite thing to watch.
Fucking great. So good.
Such a
Any of you
great
listening,
little
if you
flick.
haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's so fucking good.
It has Mal or Nathan Fillion from Firefly,
Yeah, as what, the Hammer or whatever they called him?
Captain Hammer.
Captain Hammer.
They at Mile High Comics they have a screen used Mal pistol prop for like $3,000.
It's not bad.
That's pretty fucking baller.
That's not
This
bad
close.
for,
I tried to touch it.
That's not bad for a collectible. I've definitely seen collectibles like that go for extravagantly more money.
We also almost walked out with a full size Ghostbusters Hellhound. I was going to use to scare my dog and then give to Vorian.
That would be dope. I have a corner that it would perfectly fit it.
Yeah. Like full on all grumpy like a bulldog. It was pretty cool. And that one was only like $150. It just takes up a lot of floor space.
I bet. I got a big ass basement. I can handle it. The cats would probably absolutely hate it.
Your SO, I can hear your SO screaming the first time she sees it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she found it. That's what that ringing in my ears is.
Sorry, you made me think of Scrubs when they have the gong when they get laid.
Yeah.
What's the gong for? Oh, we ring it every time we get laid. Can they actually hear it? Yeah. And he hits it, and what was his name? Actually, like he's like, my man. I'm like, anyway.
Why are gongs so expensive?
It's such a thick piece of fucking metal
I've
to get
looked,
that shape.
Big piece of copper.
I've looked into it a couple times, and they only get more expensive, which tracks. But yeah, they've been pricey for a while.
Yeah, gongs are expensive. Even the small ones are still expensive for how
It's
big
like
they
little.
are.
It's like little singing bowls. The bigger they get, the more expensive, and they do not start off very cheap.
Oh, here's a
No.
desk. Here's a desk gong for $45 from Lowe's.
Yeah,
It's-
but how big
it's
is that?
this big.
6 inches?
Probably like 4 inches.
If you're gonna get a gong, you need at least 3 feet.
I mean, it's desktop size, so I assume it's like I don't even know. They don't give the specs on here. Jesus. The total height is 12 inches, so I assume the gong is probably about 6.
They've come down. Oh, that's the stand. Never mind. Damn you, Amazon. Yeah, the 16-inch gongs run for $300. But if you're gonna get a gong, you got to get like a 3-footer.
And you got to get the mount. That way, wherever you're sitting, you can just wind back and pop it.
3-foot
Okay.
gong, $1,200.
Sounds about right.
I don't know. You're the percussionist. Have you ever heard of cream cymbals?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, they're they're a lower tier. Well, I don't want to call it a lower tier, but they're a lesser known brand that is up and coming. They're currently doing a lot of sponsorships with drummers and getting their products out.
Nice. I'm happy they're doing well for themselves. All right.
Back to monitors. So all of us with our 240 hertz monitors are just now trash because they've come out with 500 hertz OLEDs.
That
Yeah,
can switch.
that are
Huh?
only $900.
Yeah. And apparently they can switch between it's like the 240 hertz at 1080p or 4K at 500, something stupid like that.
Yeah, so you can essentially have it do a switch where you can have it unlocked where it goes up to that 500 whatever at 4K, and then you can have it where it switches back down to a 244 hertz and locks it at that, depending on what applications you're using.
That's too many hertz. It just is. Like,
I mean, I'm running a 3060. I'm good with my 144 at the moment.
yeah, it was a big jump from 60 to 144 for me, but when I look at 240 hertz monitors, I'm just like, I see it, but I don't need it. And they don't make 42-inch 240 hertz monitors. So, you know. All right, let's get into NVIDIA news.
I was supposed to be ready to talk about that one.
Yeah.
So, right before we get into NVIDIA, the last thing, I was just looking up more information on the AMD graphics cards. And AMD has not released anything on their side yet for their home-built graphics card, but Asus and XFX have already released that their versions will be coming out with 16 gigs of memory for their baseline models.
On the 9070s?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It'll be 16 gigs of RAM, and it'll use a dual 8-pin connector for their power support.
Thank God, because I'm really tired of this, 2x6 or whatever they're doing that apparently just keeps melting.
Yeah.
I think they fixed it with the new standard. They like made the pins longer and shortened up the sensor pins, if I remember right. Which okay, but yeah, it hasn't been a problem for a while. Now the adapters that were supposed to fix the problem are a problem. But
Yeah, those created their own issues.
yeah, that's a class action lawsuit. We can't talk about legal things on the podcast.
I will say though, Asus has released an image of what their 9070s are going to look like. It's not what I'm going to pick up, but I will say it is a nice, sleek looking GPU.
Share the link.
I shared an image.
Have you seen the in-house NVIDIA 50 series?
Yes.
They are dual slot, dual fan, and if you look at a breakdown of the boards are like two Raspberry Pi smacked together in size. So the fan is all heatsink pass-through heatsink. It's
What do you mean? Are you talking about the Founders Editions?
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, the board is like 4 inches by I think 5 inches wide, and then the rest of the card is heatsink, and it's centrally located.
That's wild.
Yeah, they got way small. Graphics cards are getting small again, and it is good.
Good thing.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, I do have to say, I like the aesthetic of the new 50 series Founders.
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
they-
it's sleek. It's cool. I dig it.
They look a bit like the 40 series, not gonna lie, but they honestly like just rounding out some of the edges made it look sharper. And
Yeah.
less blocky.
They rounded out the edges. They put in an angled 2x8 or 2x6 pin connector, whatever it is.
Which I thought that was a weird choice, but yeah.
They did it for cable management purposes. Apparently, even the third party is going to have it like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. That way you don't got to route your graphics power connector through all the same place you route everything else. Or stuff everything else. But yeah, it's the 50 series. They look cool, man. I'm excited for an NVIDIA card. I haven't been excited for an NVIDIA card since 20 series.
Oh, did you guys
Yeah,
get the link for the the 5090 Astral from ROG?
Is it ROG
No.
or ROG?
ROG. So Asus ROG Republic of Gamers version.
No, I did not. Where is that?
So I just shared a link that has all the lineups for the 50 series lineup from all the different companies in a list out sheet with hyperlinks. And the very first one is that Astro one that Scorch is talking about.
Boo, it's water cooled. It's tiny though.
That is tiny. It's
Oh,
a
that's
single
the
slot.
that's the Astral LC. You can get the regular Astral. That looks like my 4070.
Oh,
Yeah.
that looks cool.
It's kind of chunky.
Yeah. That's because they're not doing the dual pass-through cooling. They didn't want to re-engineer a cooling solution.
But also, if you scroll down, look at the 5090 Supreme Liquid SoC from MSI.
90 Supreme Liquid SoC.
It's about bottom in the middle.
Oh, that thing is huge.
Oh, they spelled Supreme wrong. That's why I didn't see it.
Supreme.
Supreme is
Supreme.
is their brand or whatever.
Sorry, I added an E. Fucking English.
It's a thick boy.
So I mean, it's thick, being that it's water cooled, but that's still a cool fucking looking card.
Yeah, graphics cards are getting cool again. I miss the anime girls. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sure you can still get them.
Yeah, from
know-
the Chinese brands that are kind of sketchy.
Yeah,
Actually, I think this is MSI's like standard Supreme style liquid cooled. I think the 40s were and the 30s were the same, almost the same style.
Yeah, so the 40s they came out with a Supreme in the 40 series, but it was probably the most expensive fucking GPU on the market.
Yeah, it was like $1,700 MSRP.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Good
find
even
one I
find this,
like.
though.
Oh, that would be cool in an old Alienware case. The Phantom.
Phantom GS or the Phantom?
The Phantom. I miss the old cases that had different looks. I've been hunting for an Alienware Area 51 case for a year now.
Who was it? Inno3D, the eye chill.
I was
That,
just
that
looking
one
at
actually
this
looks pretty cool. Like it looks machined, which looks neat.
That looks so interesting.
It is like a 3.5 slot card though.
Yeah.
Like some of these are chunky, right? Like some of these are real freaking chunky.
Well, I was thinking for SFX, you can go Founders Edition. It's a 2-slot.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'd work really well. All right. So, graphics cards, NVIDIA, they're good. Ugga. The other thing I wanted to talk about
And
with the
they
50
are
series.
offering affordable models.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm interested to see when the actual reviews come out, because is it just AI upscaling that's making them look so good right now? Like I know AI is a hot topic, but this is, I think, a good use case for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I was seeing, the little snippet that I saw from CES is pretty much the entire 50 series lineup is got a revised DLSS AI software that you have to run with them. And that across the board is what's upscaling all of these cards to be double the specs of what the 40 series lineup is. Kind of like what Kain is saying, I'm really intrigued to see what the actual tests come back once these cards start going out. But it is intriguing because DLSS 3.0, I think, is what we're currently on. Does make a difference, but you can also visually see it on your monitor that you're running DLSS. So I'm curious to see with this upscaling on all of these, if it's something that's actually going to be beneficial or if it's something that's going to be visually noticeable.
I mean, questionable. If they've done it right, it shouldn't be noticeable.
Should it be?
And By the way, LTT already has his hands on a 5090.
Yeah,
And was testing it.
I saw that video.
And yeah, apparently getting 254 frames a second in Cyberpunk.
Full ultra, full 4K.
All right, I gotta look that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have not watched that video yet.
These look like they're gonna be sick. This might turn the tide away from AMD again. At least high end. As far as middle of the ground, if they beat Nvidia by $100 and it's equal or better performance like they have been, there's gonna be a lot of mid-range. I only want to spend $1,000 on a gaming computer people that are going to jump on AMD, or should be at least.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what the MSRP is, right? If AMD tries to come out with this 9070 series and it ends up being $800, then you may as well just go for the 5080.
Yeah. Well, the 5070 is supposed to be $500.
Yeah.
Well, that's
the standard
flagship.
5070.
Yeah, but
That's
it's the one that looks the best. Like,
But they're also saying that the 5070 is supposed to rival the 4090.
because
with software.
because
with
of all the
software.
AI upscaling.
Yeah.
There is also a 5070
Right.
Ti, which is going to come out at 750.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 5080 at 1,000, and then the 5090 at 2,000.
Yeah.
Which feels like a hop, skip, and a leap out of my price range ever.
Well, the 90 series has always been the Titan replacement.
I mean, I get it, but like, damn
Yeah.
that price point. You know what I mean? Like, how much more are you actually getting from a 5090 compared to a 5080? Like, I don't really know if it's worth it.
I will make the argument though, like back when the Titan cards were around, like when you bought a Titan card, it felt like you were buying something substantial, like something that was worth your money. Like that was a bragging chip on your shoulder to like have a Titan card.
Oh yeah, they
So,
fucking
like,
gold plated them.
To have a 4090 or a 5090 Windows release, like yes, you have the latest and greatest that's out for tech, but it still doesn't have that same feel of like having a Titan.
Not wrong. But also,
I don't disagree.
large server farms are just going to buy up 5090s like they bought up 4090s.
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder if we could get a 4090 on the cheap once the government switches over.
Well, I know a pirate that's going to be needing a card here soon.
I'll look into that.
5080s are only $1,000.
Yeah, but if you can get a 4090 for $500 from a government auction,
I can just buy a 5070 Ti for $200 more.
that's fair.
See, and that'll be the other interesting thing is like when the 5070 Ti's drop for that price point, like.
And it says they're supposed to all drop on this at the same time.
So no, the 5080 is going to be releasing the same time as the 5090, which is going to be January 30th. And then the 5070 Ti lineup is not going to be releasing until the end or the end of the first quarter or beginning of the second quarter.
Okay.
So like March, April.
Yeah. So we'll see. Funny enough, I got a text message earlier today at like 2:33 o'clock from Micro Center that they're going to be having the 50 series cards in stock for sale on the 30th. And they gave me a little hyperlink if I wanted to go ahead and make a reservation for it.
Dude, that's gonna be the Waffle House day at Micro Center.
Beans, you gonna be the first one, bro?
No, man, I'm holding out.
You're due.
Really want to.
You're due for an upgrade.
I am due for an upgrade, and I'm going to be making a change this year, but I'm going to wait and see as things come out what is actually realistic, because I want to go Team Red, but I feel like I'm back to the same place I was when 30 series came out. AMD at the time, between their AMD cards and their AMD chipsets, had a language that spoke between each other that gave you like an internal boost between running the same components that made it look worthwhile. And then Nvidia fucking came out just dick swinging in the wind and said, I'm taking over everything. and AMD fell short on all their software and all their programming for everything to work functionally as well as Nvidia did at the time. Because I was thinking about making the switch then, but then Nvidia came out and everything worked so much better, and you got more bang for your buck out of Nvidia. And I'm in that same point where I want to go Team Red.
That's a wild thing to say. It's true, but it's a wild thing to say. And more bang for your buck from Nvidia.
At that time. And
Honestly,
this also fucking sucked because at that time, like just after that, when I was getting ready to like say, hey, I'm gonna get with my friends, I'm gonna pull the trigger on some components, fucking COVID happened, and then everything fucking went to shit at that point. Like it was just a mad dash scramble to get whatever you can fucking get. Henceforth is why I have a 3060 12 gig.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I wouldn't fault you going Team Red for the, components and then going and then sticking with green if it turns out to be as good as they say it is.
yeah, so we'll see. I would love to get my hands on an FE card. I mean, even in the 40 series when those came out, I loved the way that those FE cards looked. And for being an FE card, they're really, really fucking well built. The
You're
fan
gonna need
curves
it.
in them are-
You're gonna need a different case, bro.
I already have my eyes on another case. That's fine.
Maybe not. The 3060
No.
might be bigger than a 5080 FE.
No.
Well, I also have the MSI 3060. I have like the longest fucking lowest tier card on the market.
Nice.
Come on, they're
like
not the
the-
lowest tier. Like
No, it's definitely not the lowest tier. I'm talking shit
Zotac, I
myself,
think, is the
but-
lowest.
Like the MSI card that I have is really good, but it's a 3060 that the fans where the fan fins end, you still have another like inch and a half of plastic that just comes out to a point. So like that takes up so much space.
That's what sawzalls are for.
Like at the time when I got it and built my PC, like it was a brand new thing, so I didn't want to take it apart, but like a part of me kind of wants to just like unscrew all of it, take it all apart, take off that fucking plastic housing, put it all back together, and then just slap it full of fans.
Go old school Noctua,
Yeah,
where you
that's always
pull all the plastic and the fans off, and you fucking zip tie some Noctua fans to the heatsink.
Now, if if you're gonna go that far, you may as well just get a liquid cool plate and play around with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The MSI 5080 actually looks pretty dope.
It does.
It
Which
does.
one? Which version? The Supram, the Gaming X Trio, the freaking
The gaming trio.
Yeah, and so the Gaming X Trio is what I currently have as the 3060 variant.
That's what I have
That's
as a
4070.
4070 Ti.
Yep, we got the same card.
I don't know. Hold on, I gotta check to see if mine has a.
Has that point to it?
It
I think
not.
Kain, yours has the point that mine has.
Does your
It's,
point go down or does it go out?
Out.
It goes out.
Mine-
Like,
Okay.
ours tees out to a small point, but it's small. Like
Okay.
they only put it like maybe a quarter inch past the end of the heatsink
We got an
on
Asian
our
point.
cards. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, the Vanguard looks nice too.
Says the one that still hasn't pulled the trigger on his case. You need to buy that thing before the colorway you want is no longer sellable.
Yeah.
I'm buying it this month.
Were there no Black Friday deals or Christmas deals that you could pull the trigger on?
No, not
You-
for that. Not for that company.
No,
No.
that case just came out. Like they're not
Yeah,
going to reduce
They
it yet.
just dropped that like a month and a half ago.
And it's one of those like they're gonna make a certain amount and then stop producing them.
Yeah.
Ooh, let me do my weekly eBay check.
You know, I kind of dig the Vanguard version of the MSI. Not lie.
That's what I'm looking at right now too.
That's pretty
Vanguard,
cool looking.
The launch edition or the regular SoC?
The SoC.
The SoC looks clean.
Yeah. I mean, the launch edition looks almost identical. Might just be a stock photo though until they get the real images in. Who knows?
Oh, damn it, I was teased. Found a purple
Oh.
Alienware Area 51 case, but it's only the side panel for $300.
Dude, that is a thick fucking card. Holy shit.
Vanguard.
Yeah, don't
Oh
worry. The
my
case he
God.
wants is a dual chamber. He can handle it.
Oh, I know his case can handle it.
Yours can probably not, unless you do like a vertical mount.
There's so much heat sink and airflow.
Oh man, I need to clean out my computer.
Dusty?
I see a nice layer of dust on the inside.
I don't know where my blower is. I've lost things since I changed all this up.
Well, I got mine handy, so I can just bring it over the next time I come over.
I used a shop vac to clean my case last time. No, it wasn't a shop vac. It was a little shop blower I got for free on a Black Friday deal.
And that's what I have. The one I have is like a little blower and a little vacuum with a filter on it.
Oh no, this thing, it's Ryobi. It's like this big. It's like a half-size leaf blower.
Yeah, nope. That's all you, Bubba.
But yeah, it's still early CES. We'll have more news next week. And then you guys have 2 weeks of doing the pod without me, which will be fun.
Okay,
Actually,
fine.
no, I mean, without me doing the tech side, I will be standing next to DreadPirate.
Hey.
Hey, what do you mean? You're going to be here.
Yeah, but he's just going to be looming over you the whole time.
I'm excited because you're coming in time to help me move my toolboxes.
I'm good with that.
I can move most things to a storage unit. Toolboxes are a little much for me.
And I could probably borrow a truck while I'm out there to help you out. All right, let's call it. Drum us out, Poe.
All right. Thank you all for listening. I've been quiet because I've been chilling. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you want to contact us for any sponsorships, ads, whatever, please email us at TheDepthsofJigoku@gmail.com. Promise we're going to be more consistent with our episode releases. Just been kind of busy end of the year, start of the year. If you want to follow us on any social medias, it's all going to be at The Depths of Jigoku. That's Twitter, or X, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitch. If start of the new year, so live your best life. But if you need to talk to somebody, please go talk to somebody. You're never alone, even though you think you are. And before I sign off, anybody have any other shout outs?
I guess I will just say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, since we didn't have those cast for everybody. So
Happy Christmas, Hanukkah,
welcome
whatever
to
you follow.
2025.
Hope everybody has a successful year moving forward. And chase whatever goals and dreams you want to make happen. It's early in the year. Only yourself to blame for not going anywhere.
Stay out of my gym.
All right. Y'all have a good night. Or good morning, whatever. Peace out.
Hasta la nacho.
Houston, I'm getting a little fluctuation in the AC voltage now. Roger. 50 meter maybe, huh? Stand by. Looking good. You're still looking good. It's coming up 3 minutes.